This is Shay Veronica. Joseph Atherley is in the news. If he's a bishop, I want to see his degree. I want to see the paperwork. So I'm not going to call him bishop. Okay? He's Joseph Atherley. He is the guy who thought he could outsmart Mia Motley. He needed to do reconstruction surgery to outsmart Mia Motley. He could not do it in the body he was in. Okay, but let's continue. He is in the paper. He is trying to remain relevant, it seems, because he is saying that the 17.5 VAT should go down to 15% because of the struggling Barbadians, and he wants relief because of the rising cost of living. Joseph Atherley does not care about Barbadians, okay? He does not. And wasn't VAT in Barbados supposed to be temporary? You should go back and look at who was in government, who was the prime minister at the time, who introduced VAT. And you need to pull on that history because VAT was supposed to be something temporary. It is egregious. VAT is something that is used for fraud. Attorneys taxing you, doctors taxing you, everyone putting a value-added tax on their invoices to you. It's crap. It's highway robbery. Antigua and Barbuda, these are the countries I'm going to list that do not have a value-added tax. Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Belize, Bermuda, the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, Turks and Caicos, Curacao, Hong Kong, the USA, yes, the United States of America does not have a value-added tax. Each individual state may have service tax for when you buy food or the product, but they do not have a value-added tax. Like, for instance, you're not going to go to the doctor and he adds a whole bunch of taxes called value-added taxes. You're not going to go to an attorney and say no value-added tax. That is gangster kind of tax. That's for the gangsters, and it should not. You Barbadians should work to make sure that value-added tax is gone. It was, as I stated, supposed to be temporary. One of your politicians introduced it, and it never went away. So the USA does not have a value-added tax. Iraq, Pakistan, there are a whole host of countries that do not have a value-added tax. And they are very, very rich, very prominent. They're doing well. Yes, there's always poor. There's always the middle class. There's always the rich and the super rich. These breakdowns are in every place you go. You could always find those breakdowns in every country that you go to. But you do not need a value-added tax. That is something, and I'm going to say it again, that the gangsters in Barbados introduced so that they can line their pockets with more of your money. If you just pay your income tax, and when you go to buy products or services somewhere else outside, you buy clothes, you buy food, you should not even have tax on food, by the way. There should not be any taxes on food not in Barbados. Not in Barbados, but other places you can go for services, yes, but not the attorneys, not the doctors, not the so-called architects. And if they say they're an architect, make sure you see that degree. Most architects, most people who call themselves architects in Barbados are frauds. They didn't go to no school. They did not go to school. They're frauds. So see those degrees before you start paying these people and having them put VAT on all sorts of stuff for you. Make sure you understand the history of things, and you can work to not get value-added tax from 17.5% down to 15%. You want it gone. You want to work to have value-added tax in Barbados abolished. This is Shay Veronica.